Okay, our final video on percentages is known as the harder one. So we've previously had our percentages easier and now medium, and now we've got harder. Don't be put off by that, because hopefully following this you'll understand, and all we need to do is apply some of our other skills we've learned, and we should be absolutely fine. So look at this question here. There was 28% of 650, and again this was a question that came up very recently in a SATs test. So we're going to apply what we learned in our percentages easier video, and we're going to try and find 10% of this number. So we're going to remember that that's dividing that number by 10. Okay, so we're going to draw our columns out here. We're going to put our decimal point here, and we're going to put 650 in there, and we're going to divide that by 10. So the 0 here, the 5 to here, and the 6 in the tens column. So that gives us 65.0 or 65. So we know that 10% is equal to 65. And again, you might have noticed with 650 I could have found 10% by just taking the 0 off, because we're not dealing with decimals, but right to show the correct methods here. Now I want to try and take it up to 20%, which is just below 28%. I don't want to go to 30% and confuse things, although you could and then take away 2%. But we're going to go up to 20%, so whenever we're finding the harder percentages, see what it is. If this was, for example, 88%, I would take it up to 80% and then find the extra 8. So here we're going to take it to 20%, so we're going to find two lots of this 65. So I'm going to come here and do my formal method, and this is going to find me 25%. 5 multiplied by 2 will give me 10, and 6 multiplied by 2 will give me 12. Add the 1 is 13. So I know that 20% is equal to 130. Now I've got to find this 8% here. Now don't panic about this. It's not a problem really, because we've spoken previously, it's easy to find 10% because we divide by 10. Well, a very, very neat trick is, it's very simple to find 1%, because all we need to do is divide our amount by 100. So that's all we need to do to find 1%. Once we've found that 1%, we're going to then times that by 8 to find the 8%. So we're going to find 1%. So back to our number here, what I'm going to do is just show you. I'm going to extend these columns, still remembering that I've got my original number here. So I'm going to divide by 100, and again I'll remember divide by 10 is one place to the right for the digits. When I'm dividing by 100, it is two places. So I'm going to go back to my original number, go 1, 2, and I put my 0 here. 1, 2, and I put my 5 here, and 1, 2, and the 6 will end up in the ones column, and would equal to 6.50, in essence 6.5. So I know 1% is equal to 6.5. So we can see here I've got my 20% that I need. I've got my 1% here, but I want to use this 1% to find the 8%. So all I'm going to need to do is take 6.5 and multiply it by 8. Now put my decimal point in, just make sure my formal method's correct. 5 multiplied by 8 is going to give me 40. And 6 multiplied by 8 is going to give me 48. Add the 4 will give me 52. So I now know that 8% is equal to 52.0, so I don't really need to worry about putting the 0.0 because there's nothing there. I'm just going to keep that as 52. So again, look at our jottings. We've used this 1%. We've used the 10%. We don't really need that now, and I don't really need the 1% now, because I've got all I need to find 28% of 650 is the 20% and the 8%. So the only thing left for me to do is to take these two, 130 and 52, and add them together. 130 add 52 formal method. We don't want to get anything wrong doing this mentally, just in case, after all that hard work. So 0 add 2 will give me 2, 3 add 5 will give me 8, and 1 add nothing here will give me 1, which will give me the answer of 182. As I said, for any percentage question that you get, find 10%. Take that 10% to the multiple below your amount. Okay, so we went to 20%. If I was finding, for example, let's say I was finding 46%, I'd find 10%, then I'd take it to 40%, and then I'd find the 60%. If I was finding 82% of a number, I'd find 10%, I'd then take it to 80%, times it by 8, find 80%, then I'd worry about the 2%. So all of these methods here will allow you to answer any percentage of an amount question. Hope this helps.